Hello everybody, RaspberryBeryl here, and now we're going to be reading the biography of Star Butterfly the Underestimated, Part 6, and this is the last part of Star's biography. I hope you've enjoyed these biographies, and that you will enjoy the last one, and will be ready to hear about Star's daughter, Tara, after this. Okay, so this is the last biography of Star's. We left off, and they defeated Mina, but it was an alternate ending. They used Solaria's ghost to strip all the Solarian warriors of their powers. And we left off Marco saying he wanted to be in a relationship with Star, but was first going to go back to Earth and spend a little more time with his parents. And so now, biography part 6 should be a completely original story, no more summarizing. Please forgive me if I stutter, hesitate, mispronounce anything, and let's begin. Eclipse had told Star and Moon that she didn't really want to be queen right now. She really just wanted her family this whole time, and it was great to be queen because she could help all those monsters, but she really just wanted her family. Eclipse offered Moon the kingdom back for real, but Moon said that she was unable. She had done too many bad things and could not become the queen again. Eclipse then said that they should make Star the queen right away, and Moon said that they'd talk about it later, and that they'd be making an agreement about how to rule the kingdom until Star was of a good age to inherit the throne. On Cork 8th, after a nice vacation without all the craziness on Mewni, Star and Marco returned to Mewni after saying goodbye to all their Earth friends, promising they'd come back to see them soon, but were ready to figure out what was the next step in their life and relationship. And Star needed to talk to her mom about it. Star entered the room to talk to her mom about the future, and Moon and Eclipse were there waiting for Star. Star asked them what they wanted to talk about, and they said the same thing as her. She had started thinking about the future, and had made some decisions that they wanted her opinion on. Star listened as Moon explained to her that she and Eclipse thought Star would make a wonderful queen, and that they agreed that she was one of the most wonderful people either of them had ever met. Moon said that she was just so proud of Star, and that she had great judgment, and was able to do some things better than even she, and that's why they thought they'd accelerate her training and date of becoming queen. They said that they didn't want to put too much pressure on her right away, and had decided to plan for her becoming queen around when she would probably feel ready, around 10-16, when she'd be 18. Moon explained that she and Eclipse were going to rule together until then. Eclipse would technically be queen, but Moon would help her make decisions and handle most things. Star began to freak out a bit, but told herself to remain calm, and maybe would realize later that they were moving a little bit too fast. The next day, the people of Mewni were spoken to about the future of Mewni, how the ruling would work, and that Star would become queen soon. Moon also asked for everyone's forgiveness, and that right now it may be hard for humans to understand and accept monsters. And she's not the best example, but they could no longer be racist against these monsters. Eclipse also added that it wasn't right of her to take away the Mewins' homes just because their homes used to belong to the monsters, and that she had set up a little area for all the Mewins to live until they could properly get them new homes, and some would get to return to their old homes. A set of rules were also established that the only people that were able to be wielders of magic were the queens and princesses of Mewni, and people such as the Magic High Commission, but the Magic High Commission would be paying for all the mistakes that they'd made before they could have any real power. From then on, they would only be there to help me guide and would only have the power necessary to complete their roles. But the Queen would ultimately be more powerful than them, and they could not hold any more secrets from the Queen or me. They were given their warning. I could do many bad things to them if they disobeyed me again. There were several monster uprisings by some rebel monsters, but they were put to rest, and only some, were forgiven and allowed to return to their families. Star feared that they may never really be at peace. Months passed as they rebuilt Mewni, and as they did that, Star tried her best to prepare for being queen. Star and Marco continued to express their love for one another, but Star told him preparing to be queen was and needed to be her main focus. During this time, Moon and Eclipse also bonded and gained a deeper connection. Moon felt she could never really be able to accept this new Mewni, and definitely wouldn't be able to accept Globgor, but she would try and keep her feelings to herself. On Squarturk 86th, Buffrog came to Star asking for assistance. The tadpoles were all in a ruckus, and they wanted to know who their mother was. Star agreed to go with them to Ludo to learn where Ludo had obtained the tadpoles. They found Ludo living in his castle, which he and his siblings had rebuilt and now had ownership over. Ludo, now being sort of their friend, willingly told them how he had stolen the tadpoles from an orphanage, and so didn't really know who their parents were. Buffrog got his answer, and was saddened to return to his kids with no real answer to who their birth parents were, but was happy that he hadn't stolen them from some family, and that they got to live happily with him. On Org 2nd, they had officially rebuilt the Mewni royal castle, and had made the neighborhood so no one went without a home. Star, Moon, and River, along with some servants, moved back into the castle, while Eclipse and Globwar decided to stay in the Monster Temple and would raise Meteor there. Star was very happy to be back in her old home, and that they had finished before Stump Day and could begin preparing to make it up to him. Stump Day came, and everyone made sure to make their respects to the stump. Star made Marco attend and taught him all the things he had to do, especially if he wanted to rule Mewni with her one day. Moon and River left their respects to the stump, and personally apologized for not believing in him and treating him wrongly all those years. Stump Day then passed, and everyone was thrilled to not have been killed or destroyed. Mewni would then go through 2 peaceful years where they simply rebuilt and built on, teaching people the new ways. It was then on Norvath 47th, 1016, that Star was officially coronated Queen Star Butterfly. Star looked at her kingdom and was brought to tears by all that had been accomplished, and looked forward to all that was yet to come. At the coronation party, Janna appeared and proposed to Princess Thomas Luciter, who had happily accepted. Star looked at her several times ex-boyfriend Tom, and was happy he had found someone who understood him, and made him happy. One of the first things Star decided to do as queen was to make a park for everyone to bond and make friends at, and there she put a statue of her and one of her first monster friends, Buffrog, happily standing together. Samron 9th, 1017, Queen Star and Marco attended the wedding of their dear friends Janna and King Luciter. The event was rather dark and gruesome, which was expected of Janna. Star was amused that Janna's parents only just then learned that day that Tom was not in fact from Canada. They were very confused, but were mostly pleased to see their daughter become the queen of the underworld. It was then on Grievance 32nd that Marco proposed to Star, giving her a promise ring. Star accepted, and they laughed and said they planned to start planning a few weeks after Star's 20th birthday, but for now, they just continued being teens while they could. Star asked for Janna, Ponyhead, Kelly, Starfan 13, and Jackie to be her bridesmaids, and all accepted except Kelly, who said she wasn't sure if she would really be able to make it. This puzzled Star because she hadn't yet arranged a date. Star was pleased to learn that Marco had asked Tom to be his best man. Dartuk 12th, Star attended the wedding of Prince Penelope Spiderbite and Slime. Star was very excited for the first royal wedding of Human and Monster. Star soon began planning for her wedding. She and her bridesmaids went out to buy dresses. Star chose a wonderful white dress with lace embroidery sleeves and a wonderful white veil. For the bridesmaids, they chose some light pink sheath dresses with little flowers at the waist. Then on Norvath 56, 1019, Star and Marco were wed. It was 2 weeks after the Queen's 21st birthday, and the anniversary of when Star first came to Earth and met Marco. All went well and smoothly, which surprised everyone considering their history of important events. Star looked around, happy to see all of her friends and family, but it was true that Kelly did not attend, and Star wondered why. Star was pleased that I and the rest of the Magic Light Commission were able to attend as well. She hadn't seen us in a long time, and even though they didn't and wouldn't have their powers back for quite some time, Star looked forward to working with them when that day came. After the wedding, they had a huge celebration with lots of drinks, foods, games, and presents. Everyone enjoyed the night. Once married, Queen Star and now King Marco were determined to have fun, live life, and start making their family. The Queen and King tried for months to produce their heir, but nothing seemed to happen. Moon told Star that it didn't mean anything. It took several years for her to be born. They just needed to relax and stay calm. Maybe think of other things. Gravnak 47th, Star and Marco attended the wedding of Princess Ponyhead and Seahorse, which directly after was Princess Ponyhead's official coronation as Queen of the Ponyheads. Star and Marco next decided to go on a trip of dimensions together and try to brighten their spirits. Star left her mother in charge of the kingdom while they were away, which they planned shouldn't be for too long. First, they went to the sandwich dimension to try to see what was there and get a better understanding of it. Next, they ventured to the waterfolk kingdom to see what life was like there. After that, Star convinced Marco that they should go to the cats with human faces dimension and see how long they could last. They only lasted 3 days, and Star said the last place she wanted to go was the dimension 812 that she read about in her grandmother Skywind's chapter, which also happened to be the only chapter she read in its entirety. They went and enjoyed the wonderful sunset together, and all the happy little worms Skywind wrote of. They then returned from their adventure, happy and pleased with all that they had learned and seen. On Squartalk 51st, 1021, King Marco and Queen Star announced to the kingdom that they were with child. A celebration was had right away in honor of the news. Moon was so proud of her daughter and couldn't wait for the child to be born. The royal family started preparing right away. Then on Sagnog 5th, they received the news that the child would be in fact a girl, and therefore the heir to the kingdom and throne. It was on Cork 15th, 1022, at age 24, that Queen Star gave birth to her first child, Tara Lucine Butterfly. Star decided to name her after the planet that changed her life. She was born with wonderful green eyes, cookie brown hair, and red crescent moons on her cheeks, resembling her great-grandmother Selena's. The kingdom was thrilled with the news of the newest butterfly. Star was happy that her daughter seemed to be happy and a curious girl just like she was. Star arranged for her to play with some of the kingdom's children, and Tara seemed to get along with Eloise Spiderbite and Talicia Ponyhead. Tara and her friends loved to play outside with one another as well as their usual places in the castle. All that mattered to Star was that her family was happy and safe. Star was surprised when around the age of 7, Tara started asking her to teach her magic. Star told her daughter that she'd learn magic when she was older and ready, but Tara continued to ask until Star had enough and raised her voice. It was Org 21st, 1029, that Star began to worry. They were in the Rose Garden having an early celebration of Moon's birthday. Star had asked Tara to help her bring the cake and silverware over, and Tara started to levitate it towards them. Star jumped up in shock. How could she do that? Which frightened Tara, and she accidentally lost control of the silverware. Then the silverware flew everywhere, some of it hitting into Moon, slightly stabbing her. Star continued to shout at her daughter. That spell may have been simple, but it wasn't easy to learn, and it's not something you can just do out of the blue. Star then went to her mother to make sure that she was all right, and although she was slightly stabbed, she was fine. Star ordered Tara to go to her room right away, and she continued to assist her mother. Moon told Star to calm down, and Marco said maybe she just found one of Crescenta's books in the library, or maybe Glossric was secretly teaching her. Star calmed down and agreed that they were probably right. She then went to her daughter's room to speak and apologize to her. Star knocked on the door and heard no reply, and so opened it herself, and when she looked in, she saw Tara looking into a mirror with glowing eyes, performing some kind of spell that she couldn't recognize. Star ran in and jumped into the way, stopping Tara before she could finish whatever she was doing. Star asked Tara what she was doing, but Tara wouldn't tell her. All she said was that one of her friends told her to do it. Star then asked who, and her daughter said that she'd promised she wouldn't tell. Star then had a conversation with Tara about how dangerous magic could be, and that she shouldn't be doing it yet, and definitely shouldn't be doing it without a professional to help her. Star then asked her to maybe not talk with that friend for a while, and if she decides she wants to please tell her who this friend is. Star then went to tell the rest of the family about this and see if they could help her decide what to do. They all had no idea who this friend could be, and decided to always have a guard or someone watching and escorting the princess no matter where she was. Star was sure it couldn't be any of her princess friends, and so arranged for Tara to hang out with them more, hoping it would take her mind off magic and the friend. Things seemed to go well after that. Tara didn't perform any magic. She was washed and didn't seem to be transpiring information with anyone. All seemed good, and things went back to normal pretty soon. Star felt much better, and like she could put down all her fears and stress. She even decided to minimize Tara's surveillance and time with the guards. On Gravnark 62nd, 1034, Star arranged for Tara to go to a party at St. O's with some of her other princess friends. Tara was now 12, and Star felt it was alright for her to go and do some things alone with her friends. At the end of the night, Tara returned and told them all about the fun she had had with her friends, and how it was a blast. This made Star really happy to know that her daughter was having wild, fun, crazy times just like she used to. Star was then very disappointed when Pony had called her and informed her that her daughter Talicia had told her, and that she was sad that Tara had left not even halfway through the party, and that she was really looking forward to hanging out with her now that those guards would be gone. Star thanked Ponyhead, and the two talked a bit longer on the phone. Star then said goodbye to her friend and walked up to Tara's room to learn what really happened that night. When she got there, Tara was already asleep in her bed, and so Star decided to postpone their talk until the next day. While Tara was out with her friends the next day, Star and Marco searched her room to see if they could find anything mysterious. They were then shocked when all they found were books on how to be queen and be a good princess. When Tara returned, they asked her what it all meant and where she had actually gone that night. Tara told them all that they sent her to St. O's, and that's where she was. All she did was look around the school and get a couple of books. She then added that she did try to watch some videos, but they weren't working. Star felt much better knowing Tara wasn't doing anything evil, but still partially scared that she was trying to use Miss Haynes's old things on herself. Tara told them all that she was the princess, and so she had to be a good one. All she did was try to make herself that. Star really didn't know what to say to her daughter. Marco told Tara that she wasn't just the princess, she was also their daughter, and a great person, and she shouldn't try to just be the princess. They all then had a nice family dinner together and played some games. Star had decided to go do some cleaning and reorganizing in the castle one day, and Marco and Tara assisted. Things were going well, and they were about to be done when they ran out of room in the storage chamber, and Star told them no matter, they'd store the rest of the things in the old shed, not far in the back of the castle grounds. They made their way there, and then they heard a voice when they were opening the door. It happened to be the same shed that Doop Doop lived in, and it had been many years since Star had seen him. Doop Doop was thrilled to see Star again, and Star was partially excited to see him, and introduce him to her husband and daughter. They were both surprised and wondered why Star would just leave him there. They said a few words, put their things in the shed, and began to leave. Marco then told Star that they needed to get Doop Doop a new place to live, and maybe some friends. Star agreed and ran back to the shed and made another Doop Doop for Doop Doop to talk to. Star then left again, feeling like she made a huge accomplishment. Tara then received the magical wand and spellbook on her 14th birthday in 1036. Star was so proud of her daughter and liked how Tara's wand looked a lot like her first wand did. It was a marvelous occasion, and everyone was celebrating the next princess after Star. Star did slightly worry now that Tara would and could learn magic, though, and also hoped getting the wand wouldn't build onto her feelings like she had to be perfect. Star told herself to just put her worries to rest and enjoy the party. Star realized a slight change in her daughter sometime after she received the wand and wondered what it could be. Then on Squarturk's 65th, Tara introduced her mother to her friend Destiny. Star was surprised when she first looked at the girl and saw that she had cheek emblems as well. The girl also held a pair of dimensional scissors behind her back that looked as if they had a crystal. Star tried to quiet these thoughts in her mind and be welcoming and kind to her daughter's new friend. Star then went and spoke to her mother about the girl, saying that she was thrilled that Tara seemed to be in such good spirits, but who was this girl? Where did she come from? Why did she have cheek emblems? The last time Star had seen someone not a member of her family have cheek emblems, it turned out that they were part of her family in a sense, and that they were Eclipse's daughter. Moon told Star to just settle down, so Tara had a strange new friend, and so she happens to have cheek emblems. All cheek emblems were a sign that you or someone in your family had a strong connection to magic. Star then said, but what if she's the friend? Marco told Star to just remain calm and continue on with her day. They didn't know anything about this girl, and she had done nothing wrong to make them suspect that she was bad. Star sighed and agreed, then thanked her mother and went on with her day. Star decided that she wanted to try to take her family on a trip to Earth to visit her old friends and family, since they had been a while since they had been there last. Mr. and Mrs. Diaz were thrilled to see them again, and they too to see them. Star loved walking around Echo Creek, seeing how things and people had changed. Star set up a little best friends meetup to gather all her old friends together. On Squarturk 49th, 1038, Star's father, River, unexpectedly died. He was 66, and they couldn't find any reason for him to have died. He was found in his bedroom, sitting on his desk. Star put together the funeral at once. He was buried in the Royal Johansen crypts at the request of his family. 1039, Zamaron 12th. Star was introduced to Tara's boyfriend, Nathan. He seemed like a nice boy. He worked at one of the Mewni libraries. He wasn't much older than Tara. They had lunch together and got to know one another a little better. Star was pleased and couldn't believe how fast time had gone by. 1041, the family went on a trip to the Abs dimension on Org 4th for a Marco birthday week. Star loved the look on Tara's face when she saw what her dad looked like in this dimension, and Star was happy to see his abs again. They all had a nice week there. Marco told stories of his adventures there, and they hung out with Hekapu a bit as well. When they returned, which was barely a second after they left, they were informed that Eclipsa was found dead in her bed. Archibald had gone up to get Eclipsa for lunch and found her. They had her examined, and it appeared as if she died from some sort of dark forces. Perhaps all her days of magic had caught up to her. They arranged to have her funeral in 4 days. Star was in her office preparing things when she was informed that there had been a Mewni uprising and that Globgor had been killed. Star couldn't handle it. She hadn't really gotten over her father. Then Eclipsa dies, and now Globgor? It wasn't right. It took some time, but they managed to find and capture all the rebel Mewmins before they could harm anyone else. They were all questioned and didn't deny what they were accused of, and so were found guilty and put in the Mewni prison. Meteora, now parentless, told Star that she wanted to live with the Diazes and her friend Mariposa. Star kept to herself mostly for the next few years. She couldn't get over what had happened, and couldn't understand why the world was this way, and these bad things always happened. Why did all these people do that? Why did all those horrible things happen throughout history? Star questioned if some people saw her this way when she was young, calling herself a rebel princess, causing mayhem and problems. Star remembered that play when she went to look for her mother at the Pie Festival, and how they all hated her. Things were better now, though. People were at peace. There was only sometimes problems. Maybe things weren't as great as she thought they were. Tara would come to her mother on Splenix 24th, excitingly telling her how Nathan had proposed and how she had accepted. Star was thrilled and happy to have something to distract her. Star began helping her daughter prepare at once. They decided on the menu, they planned for the party afterwards, picked the music, went dress shopping together, and Star bought her daughter a wonderful wedding tiara. Tara would then be married on Darturk 26th, 1043, at the age of 21. Star and Marco were so proud and didn't feel ready to give their daughter away. It felt as if she had just been born, and now here she was. Star was pleased to see all the friends that Tara had invited, and that her friendship with Eloise and Talicia had stayed strong. Tara had made them, along with her friend Destiny, her bridesmaids. The wedding went well, and as it should, and everyone had a blast. Tara was married, and Nathan had now moved into the castle, and Star wondered what was next for their family. Star would then wish she hadn't asked that, when on Squarturk 78, at the age of 72, her mother Moon Butterfly would be found dead after dying in her sleep. It wasn't anything crazy, just her time to go. She had just died of old age. Still, it pained Star, and her road of sadness continued. Marco tried to comfort Star. She was thankful, but it didn't help much. Everyone had hoped that she would get over it in a few months, but Star was still down and wasn't able to perform her duties as queen well. Marco met with the MHC and I, and a decision was made. On Norvath 66, 1044, Tara was coronated and took over her mother's duties as Queen of Mewni. Star was only 45 and was partially annoyed that they had forced her to step down, but she realized that she wasn't doing much for the kingdom and had served a fair time as queen, and her daughter would do a great job as queen now. Besides, now she could just focus on Marco and having fun again. On Thurk 74th, Tara and Nathan revealed to Star and Marco that they were pregnant. Star was overexcited to have another thing to work on, and happy that she would get to meet her grandchild. Star and Tara once again began to have fun shopping adventures together, guessing and hoping what the baby would be like. Star also began to give her daughter tips and notes of things she thought she ought to know before she was a mother, and things Star wished that she had known. Then, finally on Gravnock 48th, 1045 at age 23, Tara gave birth to her daughter Estrella Dawn Butterfly. Tara's pregnancy lasted 8 hours, and Star was with her the whole time, helping and supporting her. Star was overjoyed to meet her granddaughter, and know that her name meant Star. Marco was also thrilled when he was allowed to enter the room and meet the child. Their family had come so far. Star decided to pursue some other activities for when she wasn't helping Tara with her baby. Star tried to teach herself how to knit and sew. She decided to go out more and talk to Doop Doop and Doop Doop number 2. She even started a book club that Ponyhead and Jana joined in on. All was well again to Star, and 14 years went by in a breeze. Star was then happy to attend the wand ceremony for her granddaughter Stella in 1059. Star felt at peace and knew that things weren't perfect, but they were good enough for her. Star then would pass on August 11th, a few weeks before her 62nd birthday. Star was buried in the crypts of Butterfly Castle beside her mother, and a celebration was held to celebrate the life of the princess who changed their world and way of life. The statue Star made of the monster who changed her view. Okay, everybody, and that's the end of Star's biographies. I hope you have all enjoyed and you liked my story. And for all the shippers, I hope you're okay with some of the pairing up I did. And the next biography I'll read of my biographies is Tara Butterfly, the Moonlit Star. So I hope you all enjoyed, say again, and if you want to go ahead, you can look at my DeviantArt or other social media and see the art I do and stuff. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.